Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Halloween, happy spooky season. For today's look, I am doing Storm from X-Men. I've never done Storm before actually, which is really weird to me because I do a lot of different superhero looks on here, but I've never done Storm. So today we are going to take on her look. It's going to be different because I'm taking a bunch of different versions of her and kind of putting her together. Like with my top, it's more of the newer simple version of Storm where she has a mohawk, but then the hair is going to be more like the classic kind of version of Storm that you think of. So we're just gonna get into it. So I'm gonna start by priming my eyelids with a bit of concealer. And just using a little sponge to blend it all out. So for the eye look, a lot of the time she just kind of has like a smoky eye. So I want to kind of stay true to that, but do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to go into a navy blue color for our crease on just a big fluffy brush. Tap off any of the excess. And we're just going to start this kind of as our transition color slash base. So I'm working very lightly and kind of in sections because navy blue is almost like working with black shadow. Once it's there, it's staying. So we're just gonna slowly kind of work this into the crease using little circular motions on this fluffy brush. Taking the same brush, I'm gonna go into this kind of medium blue shade in the same palette. And we're gonna put this more into the actual crease, not really extending upwards, just focusing it right in the eye socket. Just so we have a lot of different dimension because we want this to obviously look like a thunderstorm, and during a thunderstorm the clouds are lots of different colors, the sky is changing, you know, every 5 minutes, so we want that to kind of reflect here. Now when Storm is using her powers, her eyes turn white, so we are going to try and mimic that here. I'm going in with the color Mist from the Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. It's this like light grayish white color that I think will be perfect. And we're just going to take a little packing brush and start laying this all over the lid. Normally I would say like put on some really big white contacts. However, I have had really bad experiences with contacts, so I'm just gonna mimic her eyes turning white on my lids and kind of do some little face painting to create the lightning bolts, which you guys will see, and then edit the pictures after the fact. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the liner yet, so we're just going to move on to the base. I'm just taking my Revolution Makeup Foundation. This is my Conceal and Define. Just whatever your normal shade is. And then I'm just going to use a brush to blend this all out. And then for concealer, we're just going to use the same kind we used on our lids. Put a few dots. And just blend it with a blending sponge. And I'm going to kind of clean up the edge of my shadow here too. Just making it a little bit sharper. For the brow bone, I'm just going to take a skin tone shade, so whatever matches your skin tone, and blend out those edges so they are not so harsh. With the blue, you can kind of go down and around the sides too now that the concealer is done. So I'm not going to do any dark liner because I think it's just going to ruin the kind of lightning bolt effect. So I'm going to put on mascara first. Lashes, I'm going to use the Naked lashes from Ardell. These are 422s. They're very light. and they're nice and easy to put on if you're not doing a big heavy liner. I just want the lashes to look a lot more full. So I'm gonna pop those on and then come right back and we will do the lightning bolt. Now that the lashes are on, we're going to start our contouring. So I'm using a liquid contour because I want to look kind of like cartoony, very sharp features. So I am using the NYX Highlight and Sculpt Duo in, I think it's cinnamon and peach, but I only use the cinnamon side. So you just draw on the little marks. I go up the nose, underneath a little bit, and then I'm gonna blend it with the same blending sponge that we used earlier for our concealer. Now I'm going to take my big fluffy bronzing brush and just mix together all the colors in this quad. And go over my cheeks. On the nose, the chin, just kind of blending everything together. Now we're going to put on a little bit of highlight. I'm using this blue kind of tinted one from ColourPop. It's called Honeymoon. Has a blue duochrome to it. I'm just going to dot this on with my fingers. So even though her hair is white, her eyebrows are dark. So I'm going to dip in just into a little bit of black eyeshadow, and I'm going to try and keep it pretty soft. But we're just going to fill in the brows very lightly, just so they have a bit of color and definition, but aren't, you know, not Instagram-y brows. Time to add the lightning bolts. I am taking a smudger brush and I'm taking a little bit of the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, which I cleaned off before I did this, so that's nice and white. And we're gonna start just kind of drawing them however, but you want them to be coming kind of out of the corner of the eye. So they're gonna be shooting out from there. And just kind of, you know, you can do this with paint as well. I'm doing it with makeup first and then I may paint over it. It'll just depend on how well this works. Right now I'm just laying out a guideline. So coming out of the eye and then you can kind of just create that shape however you want. And you may have to trace over it a couple times to get it just right. But you want a lot of them shooting out. Like, they need to look purposeful, but you want them going in different directions. So I have one kind of going up right now. I have one coming out. And they're gonna kind of tail off. And we'll have one. So I decided I'm just gonna draw it on with the pencil. It's a lot easier. But I'm gonna have it come down and out. We're gonna kind of do them all over the eye areas. A white eyeliner is probably your best bet, like a liquid liner, but this is all I have, so this is what we're working with. So this is what it looks like right now. We're gonna add some more detail around it and some shading and stuff. So what you are going to want is a kind of cobalt blue shadow and then a light blue shadow and a very straight like smudger brush like the one I'm using here. And you're gonna go into the cobalt blue and just go around the lines so that they look like they're on a dark background. And this will give them kind of a glowing effect too. And then I'm gonna go back over all of the white with the white NYX pencil. So I put the white wig on because obviously Storm's hair is white. This is just my long white wig from Amazon. You can style it a bunch of different ways. You can get a short white one and be more like the movie version. You can do like a mohawk type with the hair, and that will give you like one of the comic variations. But I kind of went with the classic Storm hair, like in the versions where she marries T'Challa, and just went with white, long white. And then for my lips, I'm going to use gray lipstick. And that is it. So if you guys like this look, make sure you stay tuned because tomorrow I'm going to be doing Rogue from X-Men. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and check out my Wednesday tutorial, which was the very first one for this year. And I have a lot more looks coming. So stay tuned and I'll see you guys in the next one.